There is a new documentary film debuting tonight at the Pearl Theater right near Temple's campus. It's an interesting look at politics and race. That's sure raising some eyebrows, and it might raise some temperatures, too. Here's a quick clip.
We African Americans, after the Civil War, just dealt with one party. After the great FDR, we went to the other party.
My great-grandfather was a Democrat. My grandfather was a Democrat.
And I think on my birth certificate it had, you know, Negro, Democrat.
You black, you Democrat.
So where are you guys all from?
Finland.
Finland? Do you expect to see many black Republicans here?
Oh, that's a good question. So are there some?
That is a good question. What do you think the title of this documentary? Fear of a Black Republican is the title of the film. And our guest here, Kevin Williams, directed it. Perfect for our Race in America segment. Also with us, a Black Republican, Renee Moore. Hi, Renee.
Hi, Mike.
And from Word 900 AM, radio host Al Butler is here, who is a registered Democrat. Al, good to see you.
Good morning.
Okay. So what was the... Where'd you come up with the idea? What is the message of a film with a title like that?
Well, essentially, we live in Trenton, New Jersey, and our city, my wife and I bought a house, and over time, as we got more involved civically, we found that the city wasn't improving as far as economically, crime, etc. And we finally figured out, when we mapped it out, all of our politicians were Democrat, all the way from city council, mayor, state, federal, all the way up to President Bush. So subsequently, when we tried to get more involved locally on a political basis, we found that our party really wasn't interested. It was hard to get any literature.
You're a Republican?
Yeah, we're Republican. We tell everyone that in the film. We're honest about it in the film.
Okay, so you go out putting out flyers around Trenton in your neighborhood, but if you would hand it to a African American, you might get a response like, don't bother because I'm a Democrat.
Actually, no, I never, when we did get literature, which wasn't very often, that really didn't happen.
No?
But what was a major catalyst was 2004. I tried to get some door hangers for President Bush, and I was initially refused door hangers by my own county GOP.
By the GOP?
Because they were worried that if we got the voters in the city to really get active and come out, it would hurt them in the suburban elections and county elections.
Okay, so what's the crux of the film? What do you mean by that? Fear of a Black Republican?
Both parties have a fear of Black Republicans, and that if there were more of them, the Republican Party would have to change what they're doing as far as being a suburban-focused party. And the Democrats would have to lose a lot of their power base.
Everybody knows Lynn Swan here in Pennsylvania, and you're looking at Black Republicans in this documentary now, and you're sitting right next to Renee Moore, one of our more prominent Black Republicans in Philadelphia. Do you take offense to the name of the film?
Well, I don't want people to be scared of me because now Al is having issues and you too.
You're too friendly for that.
But I think it makes people want to know what's going on. I think it shocks people, the title, and I think that's where you were coming from, Kevin, to get people...
Does he have a point?
You know, he does have a point. In some areas that does happen. In 1996, we started the New Majority Council, which brought more African Americans, in particular minorities, into the Republican Party. We got out the information insight. Tom Ridge got 19% of the black vote. Right now in South Carolina, the African Americans are 20%. There's 20% for Mitt Romney. So things are going in the right direction. It just takes some time.
Do you get upset when people say, what's wrong with you? You're Black, you should be a Democrat.
Absolutely, and why aren't you voting for Obama? I get that all the time. And the bottom line is, I'm not where he is as far as his policies, and I won't be. I'm third-generation Republican. Spoke at the last 3 RNC conventions and stuff. I'm excited about being Republican. We got a message.
Al, what do you think?
I'm afraid.
Why? We could move you if you want.
First of all, I totally agree with the premise that there needs to be balance in both parties in representation of African Americans. There's no leverage on a seesaw, and you got one person sitting on the side and there's no one on the other side, right? So the idea is to be able to be in both parties and be active in both parties so that the agendas that impact your community can be addressed. But the problem comes with Republicans oftentimes, even when there are Black Republicans, they espouse the exact same views that the party holds on to. And so because there are certain views that, you know, whether it's voter ID or whether it's stripping education funding, those kinds of things right now as African Americans, you're looking at them and you're looking at the situations that are impacting your community and you're saying, well, they don't really seem interested in what I'm doing. Even if when I see a Black face in a Republican Party, they still are lock, stock, and barrel with all the things that I'm trying to fight right now. So why would I go to that side of the party? in Philadelphia, honestly, the first time I tried to register to vote, I wanted to register as an independent. But the way the policies are set up, you can't vote in a primary if you register as an independent. So after that was explained to me, I said, well, I have to register Democrat. And that way I was able to, but honestly, I'd love the opportunity to be able to say in a situation, and say in my area, if someone's running unopposed, or there's another situation where the election isn't that impactful for my direct community, to be able to say, you know what, what's going on the Republican side? Well, what can I do here? Maybe there's something here that's more impactful for me that I can make a vote on.
Could you ever see yourself voting for a Republican?
Sure.
Yeah?
It depends on what they do. One of the folks I think about in this city is a person like Franny Rizzo. He's someone who's definitely a Republican, but his policies were friendly to the entire city, specifically the African-American community.
You're right. Hey, Renee, how about you? Could you ever vote for a Democrat? Have you ever?
No.
Could you?
I have probably. It depends. It really depends. As
wrong.
deputy chair of the Republican Party, that would be difficult for me. That would be, I'm an officer, I'm in leadership. That is difficult for me.
Well,
and I disagree with you because I don't always agree with the Republican Party, and they know that. And they understand that, and I let them know why, because of my community. So, you know, we don't always agree. We agree to disagree.
But Al, don't you
I'm talking about people like Herman Cain running for president. You see a black face, a prominent Republican, but clearly he's in line with what's going on with the Republican Party, with the heart of it, and it's not saying bringing new ideas, not bringing in new ideas as far as from the Democratic side, what we could identify with. He's using the same old party lines.
We've got to close out with you.
Well, one of the things that happens is the Republican Party has not been bringing their basic message into the urban areas, into the city, and talking to African Americans. One of the things we find at screenings, and we attract Democrats, Republicans, Independents, people want to get that second option, like Al was talking about. And without the Republican Party doing it, they're making the decision for African Americans, people in Philadelphia, Trenton, etc., black, white, Latino, that they have to vote Democrat because we're not going to give you a
don't get any kickback and blowback from some Republicans say, oh, we don't want to get too African-American here.
No, what we do is we get a blowback from a lot of Republicans saying, why do we need to have special messages for special people? And what they understand is it's not a special message.
Right.
You have to bring your basic core message.
True.
Let people make their own decision.
Yeah. Okay. Again, the screening tonight is at the Pearl.
Yep, Pearl Theater at Broad in Oxford, 7 p.m. We're going to have a Q&A afterward hosted by WPHT's Chris DeGaulle. Yeah. Renee's graciously accepted our invitation to be a panelist with us tonight. It's going to be a great discussion. We want everybody to come. It doesn't matter if you're a Democrat, Republican, or an independent. Please show up. I think it'd be a great show.
Interesting.
It's going to be good.
Boy, 8 years in the making. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank y'all for being here.
Thank you.
Karen?
All right, thank you there, Mike.